Hey people, Infant here, 3v3, SD Province Blue Team. We have some Eldar, it's Vlirazer as a Farseer support hero fighting in melee combat. Powerful buffs and control, the Oathway DLC here alongside Red Crown and a Warlock, a melee spellcaster leaping into combat with some powerful disruption and support. And rounded off the blue team is Bruce Campbell and a Chaos Sorcerer. Offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. This is the Cogs of Vashtor. Elite scheme. On the red team then, Malekith rocking a Techmarine starts off in ranged combat, can get a melee loadout, supports with structures and repairs. The Dark Angels DLC here. Alongside him, Shoris as a Lord General fighting in ranged combat begins with this little retinue of Stormtroopers. Really strong defense and support can also add to the retinue. And rounding off the teams is Jeff with an Apothecary support hero fighting in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura, facing off against the Sorcerer on this eastern side. Warlock rotates across though. Shoris responds, bringing the Sentinel over. Going to see a 2v2 fight on this eastern flank, looks like. Doom bolts. Good hits on those tactical marines. Now the Sorcerer goes into melee. Apothecary responds, heals them, and then they get all knocked over. Sentinel taking a beating, backs off. Heretics coming into some melee, taking a whole bunch of damage as they do so. Should have kept them back there, I think. Apothecary being chased by double guardians, perhaps. Yep, pouring some damage on. Sorcerer's getting low, has to retreat. The tactical marines did not drop a model. They could do with another heal soon, though. Once it comes off cooldown, Warlock now in amongst some guardsmen. Kinda surrounded, but he's doing all right. Oh, the CSM dropping a model, though. Looking for some cover. Yep, another heal went in on those tacks. Sentinel gets the stomp, and the guardians leave. Red team may be able to push through. Guardsmen are getting a bit thin though. There's a Destructor. Warlock's off the field. Here's a second Chaos Space Marine squad getting Eternal War. These guys are not getting Eternal War. They dropped another model there. Yeah, these CSM have to pull out. Well played the Apothecary, I think. He chased off the Sorcerer, but didn't overcommit. Stayed back and supported. Kept his tactical marines nice and healthy. The scouts didn't even drop any health, I don't think. And now he can project that healing aura. Rangers on the field for Red Crown. Also have Rangers up for Vlirazer on the other side of the map. We'll check in what's going on over there, shall we? This is the west side. Contested victory point turning red for these fast capping tactical marines. Techmarine on the cap of the wreck point. Artificer armors in. Might see Mastercrafted Bolter here because Vlirazer does have Howling Banshees. And here's the Rangers. Double Rangers for Red Crown. Nothing else up yet for the red team after those initial purchases. Some war gear coming in, I guess. There's the customized Stormbolter. We saw that Artificer armor. The Lord General, I think he dropped both of his retinue models earlier. But he's got them back. Derek and Nigel have returned. And he's got grenade launchers in. 483 to 474 on the VP's Destructor. Decent hit. CSM behind some light cover here. When the Lord General equips grenade launchers, his retinue models also get them. Some good aerial effect damage and gives him move to move infantry around faster. Doom bolts. More good hits on those tactical marines. They're getting quite low. Here comes some heretics with the Aspiring Champion. That was a heal going off there. The Aspiring Champion is a decent melee fighter with bolt pistol and chainsword. He's a Chaos Marine. Also makes the other heretics have more health through his sheer presence. But there he is running off. Sorcerer with the Sword of Flame. 458 to 474. Red team backing off, trying to stabilize, but it's going to be tough because I think, yeah, Jeff is off the field completely. Assault Marine's on the way though. That could make a big difference here because there's no Howling Banshees. He can jump the double Rangers, jump the double CSM too. Might be worth getting Purification Rites here for some extra oomph. 458 to 474 on the VPs. Power bashing now on the red team's natural in the southeast. Double CSM with Eternal War, some Guardians, some Rangers, Sorcerer back here capping the wreck point. Those CSM are getting kind of low. Need to be careful, they will drop models soon. There's Kraken bolts on those tactical marines, 20% more damage to heavy infantry, but they couldn't quite commit to it there. Here's your assault squad, and there's the jump. And they knock back 4 models with it. These guys disrupt when they land, as you see there, with 25 DPS. chainswords. Sorcerer goes in to counter-initiate, setting them on fire with his Sword of Flame. Needs to be a bit more careful with his heretics, I think, Bruce Campbell. He's kind of sent them into death a couple of times. I mean, they have soaked up a bit of damage, I suppose, but I think, especially with the assault squad around, it's worth keeping them back to counter-initiate. CSM dropping 2 models over there. I think they'll be alright. Sorcerer with a good special, but he needs to be very careful. Must have been tempted to stick around and try and get a model off those guys. These guardsmen may be able to finish him off. In fact, it was bolt pistols that did it. Guardsmen are power bashing. Over on the west side, not sure what's going on in the chat there. But just chilling out is Malekith. He's got the Mastercrafted Bolter. Farseer with the Ghost Helm has capped the VP over here. All is quiet on the western front, eh? Howling Banshees rejoining the fight. Some Tactical Marines rejoining the fight. And Malekith has got himself some Assault Marines that can pressure the Rangers very quickly. Grenade, nice idea, didn't quite hit. Howling Banshees coming in to fight them with power swords. And there's the Mind War, suppressing and damaging over time those Assault Marines. Banshees coming in. Don't have an aspect yet. Oh, here it is. Aspect of Strength on the way. Shotgun blast is well timed. And Banshee's getting wrecked. Really well timed. Tactical Marines in the exact right place to punish them afterwards. Assault Squad didn't drop a model. Perhaps lucky not to, but it was well judged after all by Malekith. On the east side, Sorcerer still down. Apothecary levels to what? Levels to 2. Now has Armor of Purity, speeding up the cooldown of his basic heal ability, which does get stronger as he levels up. Every level these days. It used to be every couple of levels. There's those heretics again with the big overextension. Feels like he has to commit them, I suppose. When there's no Assault Marines jumping in, maybe it's better to get them grenade launchers so they can disrupt these big blobs of ranged infantry. Because they're really not achieving much. They're just kind of feeding XP when they run in like that. They're not durable enough to soak up damage, really. 446 to 412. I was going to say Bruce Campbell should maybe get some more heretics. Double grenade launchers is quite painful, but he goes tier 2. Warp Spiders on the way for Red Crown in tier 2 already. Vlirazer goes, so does Malekith, and Jeff is already there. A power push on this northeastern power for the blue team. Can they get it down? Can they get some of it down? Focusing down the gens. I see a plasma gun on these Tactical Marines here. Bad news for the Chaos Space Marines. Plasma is a very good damage type against heavy and super heavy infantry. Quite good against enemy heroes too. 426 to 412 on the VPs. Sorcerer sets himself on fire. Very elaborate, but then has to run away immediately. Here come those heretics again. And look how quickly they just get decimated as they run in. Quite a light tier 1 for Bruce Campbell with his double CSM and melee heretics, and he's kind of paying for it here. Maybe he can come out swinging with a Blood Crusher or something. Warp Spiders. We'll see how they do. I think they'll be alright. I was just thinking of the amount of firepower coming back at them. These guys have really good anti-infantry damage. And of course, teleportation gives them fantastic mobility. Might be worth them just going through the mid, trying to decap this and get the red team kind of turned around. Doom Bolts. Little mini Doom Bolts. These Tactical Marines nice and healthy with their Sergeant. Sergeant has a bolt pistol and chainsaw, but his bolt pistol actually does more DPS than the bolt guns of the other models. He's a really good fighter. Assault Squad with their Sergeant as well. The damage pouring in from those Warp Spiders. Warlock, no war gear on this fella. He could get the Witchblade of Kurnus to really punish those Assault Marines. Heretics pushing through now. And there's this Circle of Summoning, or Demonic Summoning, I always forget what it's actually called. Spawning some Bloodletters and allowing Bruce Campbell to reinforce. A Blood Crusher is on the field, by the way. Oh, look at the Bloodletters with the Cogs of Vastor. Got like cables running around their head or something. I don't think I've noticed that before. Double Flamer Guardsman, hey? Well, these days they can switch to plasma guns, right? Unless that was removed at some point. There's Distortion Field from the global bar of the Warlock, protecting those Warp Spiders. Good usage of that, I think. Typically you see it thrown on a melee squad to protect them from ranged fire, but you can throw it on your Warp Spiders or your Dark Creepers or something to help them trade better in ranged combat. Malekith's got some Stern Guard over on the west side. Can we see what they're up to? But they were being threatened by Banshees. The Assault Squad come in and save them. Farseer with the Gravity Blade. Excellent counter-initiation tool. She can also use it to just like fleet into a ranged blob like this to lift them up. And there's the Wraith Guard. There's Levitation Field. Wraith Guard are kind of short-range artillery guys. These Wraith Cannons can blow up anything. They can also suppress infantry. Yeah, and one way to deal with them is to just force some melee combat on them. They don't like that. There's the Mind War from the Ghost Helm. Farseer may go down here. Kills another model of the Assault Squad. Their Sergeant went down. Stern Guard switching ammo types to combat all targets using Hellfire here, which are damage over time acid rounds. Back to the mid. Blood Crusher getting to work. Wiping the scouts, yes, with the help of some Warp Spiders. The Blood Crusher is a Bloodletter riding a Juggernaut. Some little pogs of Vashtor flourishes on the Bloodletter model there. Quite fun to see. It's like he's got armor on this fella. Does heavy melee damage, good mobility, not a lot of hit points though. Also doesn't have any melee resistance. But the armor type protects him mostly against the Librarian and these Assault Marines here. But there is a Melter Bomb. Has to get warped out to safety by the Sorcerer. And power gets bashed. Very effective power bashing here. Catechins, are they going to drop an explosive? No, they're not. I guess it would be spotted by the Rangers, wouldn't it? Warp Spiders trying to get a hit on them. Couldn't get a model though. Heretics, the wrong side of safety. Good grief, they got absolutely pulverized there. That shotgun blast seemed to do like half their hit points. And all those flamers arrayed against them wasn't helping, was it? Got some Mark of Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines now. With Inferno Bolters and a Demonic Plasma Gun. 2 of them, in fact. They'll do extra damage to heavy infantry. Such as all these Marines. Pretty good against enemy heroes, too. Apothecary getting messed up. Might have to heal himself. There it is. I just heard Banshee's war shouting. Looks like they're being dealt with quite well by Assault Squad jumps and just the amount of ranged firepower coming in from Hellfire rounds and stuff. Wraith Guard. Caught in melee a bit, but now they're free. Just the sheer threat of the levitation field was enough to get them to run away. And they're power bashing, and they're pretty good at it. Maybe the Warlock could decap the node. Nope, he's off. What's he up to? Is he going for this wreck point? He has the Witchblade of Kernus. Very powerful melee weapon. Just getting behind some heavy cover there to use his ranged attack, which was quite smart actually. And now in retreat path, uses that Ethereal Slash and a grenade. Beautifully done. Beautifully done there by Red Crown. That was a really smart play. Didn't just run in and get his Warlock killed or retreated. He stayed back, waited for the retreat, stayed back behind cover, waited for the retreat and did a good Ethereal Slash into grenades. Level 3 Apothecary. Improved medical equipment. Jeff is rotating across to the west side, trying to get a flank or bash power or something. Bash power. Wraith Guard doing their thing. Big ouches. Farseer, of course, can support them fantastically well with Guide. One of her starting abilities, boosting their range and their damage. Haven't seen her use it yet. I'm sure it has been. There's the Mind War again on the Assault Squad. Leaving them right for those Wraith Cannon shots. Here comes the Lord General himself to try and tie up the Wraith Guard. Levitation Field says no. 236 to 353 on the VPs. Malekith down to Tactical Marines and an Assault Squad. I don't think he got anything else onto the field, but he's lost his scouts along the way. Jeff also lost his scouts, of course. We've got some Kasrkin up in tier 3 for Shoris. Equipping some plasma guns. These are unique elite infantry, limited to 1, but they can change their guns freely. They're specialized weapons, but it's kind of rapid firing plasma guns. What is it, 90 DPS each? Yeah, that's a lot of DPS. A lot of plasma DPS going out. They are heavy infantry, I believe, so they are going to take extra from the Chaos Space Marines, but double plasma guards from here too. That's a hell of a lot of plasma. And I don't think the double CSM can trade with that very well. Level 2 Assault Squad with a jump. Warp Spiders get the hell out of there. Very quick reactions from Red Crown. Librarian in there with his staff gets knocked over. Ethereal Slash. I don't think that hit super well. But he got that stuff to retreat at least. There's quite a scary shooty force now from Shoris, especially... I was going to say, especially if the Catechins can disrupt things. But they had to run. But there goes the Eldar. Jeff is now level 3. Back to the west side. We have some Deathwing Terminators for Malekith. Storm Bolters and Power Fists here. Inspiration on kill. Not sure what these Guardians are up to. They are dying. Did Vlirazer just forget about them, maybe? Hey, we got some Seer Council. May have just been freeing up some population there. Seer Council are pretty bad news for the Terminators, especially if they keep their power weapons as they are at the moment. It gives them a damage bonus against this super heavy infantry here. But they can get heavy melee spears to combat all targets. Dark Creepers on the way for Red Crown. Always fun to see these new Dark Creepers in action. Now that they've been moved to tier 3 and made unique, limited to 1. Infiltrating off the webway, using some fleet to get forward quickly. And the Farseer has Armor Vasurian now. Level 3. Lots of things vying for her energy usage now. Going to need to very carefully use his abilities here, Vlirazer. Here we go. Howling Banshee's taking the brunt of the bolter fire to start off with. Tactical Marines, you going for the garrison feathers? Nope. Terminator's having to teleport out. The Vanguard veterans on the field do not want to mess with the Seer Council alongside Howling Banshees here. Oh, maybe they do. There's a jump. It's well timed. Oh, they use it to just create an escape for the Terminators, or at least try to. Seer Council are on them, though. These guys do leap into combat. They're really good at chasing. Just good mobility in general. Doing a lot of damage to that single model there. Couldn't quite get the kill, though. And they're forced to retreat. Meanwhile, back over on the east side, big old fight is brewing. Got some, what looks like demoralization effects. I think it's the Dark Reapers with their Reaper's Grasp, yeah. Slowing down units and stopping them from teleporting or jumping away. Pretty powerful, these guys, with a bunch of Plasma Reaper launchers. And there's the Aspect. Also permanently increases their range by 8. That's quite nice. 189 to 316 on the VPs. Can they plant their feet and shoot those Vanguard veterans maybe? They're going to get jumped, I guess, are they? Nope. Vanguard veterans off the field now. Warlock level 4. Chaos Predator on the way for Bruce Campbell. West side is still blue for now. Eldar holding it. Vanguard veterans taking big hits from the Wraith Guard. I think maybe they wiped, yeah, they wiped the Rangers. They got the Ranger kill. And we have an Assault Cannon on the Terminators here. Very good single target anti-infantry damage. The Wraith Guard are heavy infantry, so they're shrugging off a little bit of it, but it's a lot of DPS. Almost 60 DPS from that single weapon. Will certainly shred the Guardians and stuff, which means you get the inspirations quicker. Buffing everything else. Techmarine level 4. Got Signum now. Can use that to target the Seer Council. Oh, the Howling Banshees died too. See one of them there. Maybe they never got away from that fight. There's a bunch of dead ones over here, look. It's a 2-to-1 cap. Can't quite break through here, Malekith. I wonder if Shoris will assist. Being occupied in the mid. Blood Crusher still going. Now has a tank with Mark of Khorne boosting speed and damage of the weapon slightly. I think it's a 25% damage boost. And is it +1 speed? Plus 0.5 speed. It's a good tank. Especially if you can get Khorne worship on it as well. In this case, it's going to be Tzeentchian worship to infiltrate. Avatar of Cain on the way for Vlirazer. Can Malekith deal with that? Kashyyykin still have their plasma, and Shoris is rotating over to the west side, but so is Red Crown here. Nasty flank for Malekith. There's marked target on the Seer Council, but a big old retreat. Shoris coming to help. I think the Vanguard veterans will be fine. Yep. Those guys dodge grenades using move, move, move. Also have stabilizers for back in the fight. Some health regen and stuff. They don't have their commissars, the guardsmen, so they can't break their own retreats and stuff, but they're doing okay. There's the stabilizers coming in. But Eldar are stabilizing quite well. They still have a Seer Council in the pocket here from Vlirazer. Dark Creepers doing their thing. The Exarch using his fancy weapon. Not sure which one he's using right now. Reaper Barrage, look at that! Knockback and suppression, that's awesome. And of course they can use Reaper's Grasp to stop these Terminators from escaping so easily. Levitation Field does not hit. Well, it hits that one guy. Seer Council on the Terminators now. Dark Creepers are slow to approach and join the fight though. So they couldn't Reaper's Grasp them there. Look how blue the map is right now. Avatar just hit the field too. Malekith has a plasma cannon now. Might be able to get some good hits on his Wraith Guard actually. Vanguard veterans jumping into a bad spot. With Mind War going off and big hits from the Wraith Guard. Really big hits. Also Dark Creepers in there of course. Doing big chunks of damage. Terminators getting a little bit low. Maybe close to dropping a model, but they have to apply some pressure I guess. 189 to 209. Red team do have the VP lead. Uh-oh. Bruce Campbell just lost the tank. Chased down by the Vanguard veterans. Also losing a CSM squad there. These Vanguard veterans doing some great work, but they're Power Fist in. Is that a free upgrade now? It might be a free upgrade now. Avatar of Cain with the Wading Doom. Terminators tossed all over the place. Teleporting out. I think he's got his Star Shot Launcher in because of the rocket. There it is, you see. Fires really slowly. But it hits hard, I think. Avatar providing some awesome buffs to surrounding infantry. Through the mid, though, Jeff gets a decap. He's got a Librarian, level 2. Apothecary himself, level 4. Sorcerer going to try and Doom Bolt, maybe? Nope. Oh, Doom Bolt's these guys. Don't think the Terminators care that much about your Doom Bolts, but might have been better used on the Tactical Marines. Another Chaos Predator on the way for Bruce Campbell. Is that a good shout? These guys have the Cyclone Missile Launcher. And those Vanguard veterans are still around too. There's the tank. No mark on it, but it's still a tank, innit? Here comes Red Crown. Taking back the VP with the Rangers. Jeff backing away, teleporting away. Are those tacks too far forward here? I think they're alright. Vanguard veterans are busy bashing a power node. Meanwhile, what is this? That is some Guardians trying to decap, trying to grenade stuff. Time field. They might be able to get a decap here. Meanwhile, back to the east side, there is an Imperial Abyss. Imperial Abyss is hitting some friendly Eldar. Almost wiped out those Warp Spiders, in fact. And we have subjugated Terminators now. Thanks to the Sorcerer, giving him temporary direct control, getting him into a really bad spot. And Dark Creepers and everything else is going to shoot them to death. Terminators down. Sorcerer is so good at dealing with Terminators. Nice nuke, says Jeff. He looks like he had a bit of a rough time in that nuke. Did the Warp Spiders survive? They did. Here comes some Fire Prisms now. Malekith has dropped a Venerable Dreadnought, which is very exciting. He's taken that Western VP too. Does Heretics got away? The Heretics got away. Sorcerer fighting Vanguard veterans with tank support and Marco Zint CSM support. And those guys still killed him. They did drop all but one model, but that was pretty cool. Baneblade on the field. And here's that Venerable Dreadnought taking hits. Unique to the Techmarine, big bucket hit points, and he can charge around too. And there's that Baneblade, bristling with guns, Mega Battle Cannon, Las Cannons, Heavy Bolters, and a big Demolisher on the front they need to manually target for some good disruption. Venerable Dreadnought being repaired by the Techmarine himself, who's trying to get a melter gun up. Fire Prism's taking some shots, maybe from the plasma cannon. Baneblade will make short work of them. They need to be very careful of the Baneblade. There's an Eldritch Storm coming in, I think. Shuts down the Baneblade, and there's a Seer Council with Enhance and their heavy melee spears taking a bunch of damage. Rocket Run in the background now. Pretty good Rocket Run. It means the Wraith Guard couldn't help take down the Baneblade, but they may be able to do it anyway. Seer Council off the field. Baneblade is down. The Fire Prism's getting it done, but down go the Wraith Guard, I think. Wraith Guard wiped. Fire Prism goes down. A brutal fight there. Looks like that Fire Prism's down too. Lascannon getting a shot in there, as you saw. And the tank went down. Huge losses on both sides. All players now basically having to recover. Red Crown still has a large army though to micro. Levitation Field continues to be awesome. What is the actual DPS of this thing? Yeah, it's not power melee, unfortunately, for the Farseer. 65 DPS regular melee isn't terrible though. There's the Avatar. He's still going. Infiltrated as well, if it in it off the webway. Vanguard Veterans capping Eastern Power. What is this? Some sneaky heretic trying to get decap. Apothecary said no. Level 6 Apothecary says no. More Fire Prisms coming in. And now we have a Manticore. That Baneblade didn't last long. But I suppose those Fire Prisms didn't either. Manticore, long-range artillery piece. You do need to manually target each of the missiles. Here we go. You get a bit of a warning thanks to this flare. But if the Manticore is close, that warning doesn't last very long. Because missiles actually physically move through the air rather than just a set timer before they land kind of thing. Warp Spider's being used in melee here to tie up those guardsmen. Now an Avatar joins in. A bit overkill there for some guardsmen. Just trying to apply some pressure with it. Venerable Dreadnought looking for a fight. It's a hell of a fight. Try and take on the Avatar. He's going after the Seer Council now. Vanguard jumping in. Mark target on the Seer Council. They need to run. They really need to run. Plasma Cannon with a bit of friendly fire. They are running. I think that model is far enough away. 71 VPs for the blue team. 2-1 for the red. These guys using Dragonfire, are they? No, they're using Vengeance rounds against the Avatar. What's the Avatar doing? Is he just... Oh, I think... Did he get melted and Lascannon? I don't think so. He's trying to move. Don't think he's going to get away. Leman Russ is on it. And here's some Vanguard Veterans as well. Big chunks coming off. Trying to block them with the webway look. Oh, is he far enough away? He might have made it. I think he bloody made it. Mind War slowing down those Vanguard Veterans there. There's some time field. Chaos Predator for Bruce Campbell. He's got 2 of them. No marks. Coming in from an awkward angle, but it's paying off at the moment. Nothing really to threaten him here right now. Where's the Leman Russ then? Leman Russ is backed all the way off with Vanquisher Cannon. Very good at hunting down large targets from long range, but doesn't have much hit points right now. Some repairs going in. Surely it's worth dropping Blessing of the Omnissiah here. You repair the Leman Russ as well. We might be saving the red for Terminators, Malekith. Reaper Barrage. Some good disruption. Stops the Plasma Cannon from firing. Down to 22 VPs though, the blue team. Manticore Strike. I think he was aiming for the tanks. Wasn't aiming for the VP, it looked like. Ouch. Big ouch on those Dark Creepers. And they couldn't get the decap. Here come the Seer Council. Is he going to use them to cap or apply pressure? Look at this though. Through the mid. Big old fight going on. Fire Prism went down. Both of the Eldar players now with some Dark Creepers up. Down to 20 VPs. Vlirazer lamenting that Plasma Cannon, I think. Or maybe just pointing it out with a ping. Wailing Doom. Maybe could have got a bit closer there. They Couldn't get the decap again, down to 10 VPs. Have the blue team run out of time. Slow and steady from the two Space Marine players, wasn't it? And Shoris with some good support through the mid. GG, says Jeff. Indeed it is. Red team take it. The 2-1 at the end. Let's look at his heroes, shall we? Farseer level 5. Did some amazing early work with the Wraith Guard, but they got wiped by Vanguard veterans in that big crazy fight. Warlock level 8. Had the Falchu's Wing for enhance. Also had Providence. See, accounts were being replaced here, looks like. And had those Dark Creepers. They got to level 3 as well. Bruce Campbell, Sorcerer level 3 and down. Had the Sword of Flame, Tome of Subjugation. Not sure if he had anything else. Level 7 Techmarine here with the Melter Gun. Refractor Field, level 7 Lord General. Good old grenade launchers and a level 6 Apothecary from Jeff. Awesome stuff. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Let's get away from the loud noises. And I'll see ya next time.